This is about UpRaise for employee success. Now, UpRaise for employee success was our first product on the Atlassian marketplace. We launched that about 6 years ago, and it's about employee performance management. Now, rather than talking about the product, let's first understand the background, right? So, the way we approached this performance management was we wanted to take it forward and make it really agile. Software development processes themselves are becoming agile day by day. Even those organizations that are not into core software development are also adopting some of the agile principles. But the performance management by and large still remains traditional. If you look at the traditional method, you'd obviously see the process itself is very rigid. The directions are going to come from the top and they are sort of going to get propagated towards the bottom. Whereas when it comes to the agile method, it's more experimental, rather than someone at the top dictating this needs to be done, that needs to be done. People are experimenting at different levels. Even the frontline contributors, they are experimenting and then sort of ensuring that results of those experiments are propagated across the organization to come out with something that's best for everyone involved. Traditionally, the leadership style has always been commanding, dictating, and controlling, as opposed to the agile methodology, where it's all about self organizing, coming to a consensus as a team, and so on. Also, when it comes to agile, right, the cross functional collaboration is extremely important. Whereas when it comes to the traditional method, it's more document driven, more set in stone process rather than adaptable to change. Whereas when it comes to the agile methodology, it welcomes any kind of change as the process progresses. It's not going to remain in one specific position, in one specific flow. It will adapt depending on the situation itself. So we wanted to drive this employee performance management more towards the agility. That is when we came with UpRaise for employee success. Now, reasons to adopt this new approach, right? There is a lot of talk about millennials coming in and forming a major chunk of your workforce and so on. So there are primarily these three reasons that we think are responsible for making this forced change towards agility. Developing your talent is more important than ever. Employees are motivated by development opportunities, and only the direct managers can help them refine their strengths through consistent coaching. Staying agile obviously is one of the most important things nowadays, given that things are changing so rapidly. Even the large businesses, the established businesses, are no longer operating on an annual mode, right? So that is the reason every team should now have their operating procedure that's more agile. Frequent check-ins, quarterly look at goals, whether they're making sense or not, all of that is part of remaining agile. And then finally, to create encouragement around the teamwork itself. So if we went back a little, maybe 1 or 2 decades towards something what, for example, Jack Welch did at GE, right? The forced ranking methodology. It may have worked at that point in time, but it doesn't anymore. It tends to create that unhealthy competition. And that's what we are trying to get away from. We want individuals to come in and then play a part to achieve the teams, their goals that they have stated. That is where the performance management revolution is happening. And that's where we wanted to bring in the UpRaise for Employee Success app. It's natively developed for Jira, and given that it's developed for Jira, it does not need any additional adoption. It's already integrated with your day-to-day system of records, which is Jira. If your team is already reliant on Jira, they're going to log into the Jira platform, the Jira app, at least 2 to 3 times a day to look at what they're working on, to update their statuses, and so on. So there is no additional workflow break or additional workflow adoption that they need to do. It's just easily adopted because it's already there in their tool. And the most important one, the app is available for all three variants: server, data center, and cloud.